I speak now on spirit communication. Spirit communication B, communication between spirits and we, being spirits in the flesh, where for a time we enmesh, so that on this level we walk, so that on this level we talk, with spirits who did flow into the flesh from realms below. And others came down from above, our heaven of endless love. So worlds do meet, past friends we do greet, and thus knowledge does impart, to give the lost souls a fresh start. But whilst we are here in the flesh, other spirits can draw near, and their thoughts in our minds sow. This humanity needs to know, for through telepathy can we sink deeper into the drink, by heeding spirits not in our sight, thus not seeing their invisible might, being their invisible control over us mentally, as on earth we stroll. So thoughts can come in that can turn us on, and we sin. So this is why I say, seek this deeper understanding today, or forever you'll become blind, as spirit thoughts do you bind. Spirit communication is allowing thoughts through into our minds from spirits in other levels, both true and untrue. I speak about the positive and negative sides of being in communication mentally with spirit people who abide on other levels of consciousness invisible to us, the pros and cons of spirits linking in telepathically with our minds and our mental responding. On the supposed positive side, one could say, what is wrong with having a mental discourse with other people, be it spirits in the flesh or spirits in spiritual realms? They are still our sisters and brothers, some of whom we have known for ages of time. Some of us are even aware of spirits of the light, guiding and assisting us on this level. Also, we can give spirits succour and guidance, as they also can do for us here at times. They may inspire us to greater achievements, and can help to allay our fears, as some in the flesh do for them, consoling each other, as is done by many on this level of earth who feel lonely and rejected, and are often consciously or unconsciously mentally in touch with spirits. This in itself appears a positive, loving act. So on the surface there is no apparent reason for not having discourse with spirit beings. The negative aspects of communicating with spirits abiding in other realms who are not in heaven are: some are in lower realms of limbo or darkness, thus themselves controlled by the darkness that has the powerful, silent, cunning intent of spreading deceit and destruction. We generally cannot see these spirits, but hear them in the form of thoughts entering our minds. And they can say anything they are inspired to from the dark, and thus can and often do mislead us, as the thoughts entering into their minds are very cunning. They can direct us in a manner which seems to be right, but it is from their perspective and their choice. Thus we are puppets on their string. And God says, seek my counsel and my direction, let me be your inspiration, for only I know what is best for you. Negative spirits can influence us more intensely or forcefully at the times of us feeling aroused negative emotions. At this moment, we link in easily to spirits having the same sinful emotional feelings. The vibration of the emotion is the link. And thus they telepathically inspire us to speak or act in a manner to satiate these feelings, thus denying the call of God, as we heed their thoughts and abuse others and self. We unknowingly get used to being in daily contact with them, and are unlikely to be able to distinguish our own thoughts from their thoughts. Thus they can slip in a negative controlling thought at the wrong moment that we will then act out without hesitation. Maybe a wrong business deal, or unforgiving words spoken in haste, or we might strike a blow. This control by them is inspired through them from the source of darkness, and will be compulsive at a time of stress, difficulty, or confrontation, and will for sure make us deny the call of the light, and make us retaliate in any confrontation. Also, spirits in higher, lighter levels will be seeking to help us to suffer less pain. They may also thus inspire us incorrectly to retaliate. Many of them yet falsely believing that self-defense is the right way to go. Just because a spirit is in another realm does not mean that it is any wiser or more understanding of God's ways than us spirits in the flesh of this world. They may also falsely believe that it is their loving duty to guide us here, not seeing that they are invisibly regulating and controlling us. This is contrary to our Creator's wish that all have freedom of expression. We are responsible to God for our actions, and only God, not to spirits in spirit realms, nor to spirits walking in the flesh of this world. God says, "Vengeance is mine. You feel it when you walk not in peace divine. You will all reap what you do sow." Thus the call to only love you get to know. Our minds are reached by positive divine inspiration through the vibration of our divine spark of love at the core of our soul. Our minds are reached by negative thought control through the vibration of any negative emotion within us that surrounds our light within. So why do I now say, break the contact with all spirits, being mental communication that has been going on for ages of time? Because any spirits who are not in the ultimate heaven still have some negativity within, and are thus themselves reachable telepathically by Louis the Serpent from the depths of his lair, the access being through the vibration of any negative emotion within them. Thus are all ensnared and used by the darkness to manipulate others. Only the pure spirits that abound in heaven know that we must allow freedom of action. Spirits of righteousness, angels, will only guide us inspired direct from the source of light, God's pure wisdom shining through their minds to us. Spirits in the flesh, us humans, are generally unaware of the reality of spirits who exist in other realms, and thus we are not consciously aware that their thoughts flowing in are not our own. Many people seem to falsely believe that when a fleshly body is put into the ground, that the person is dead. This is ignorance. There is no death as such. As the flesh becomes uninhabitable, the spirit within is released and steps out, and streaks for one of many levels, depending on their energy vibration. Spiritual death is when a spirit falls into the deepest cold darkness, frozen into immobility as a stone statue, unable to move, and is unseen and unheard of again. Thus spiritually dead, unless released another day, to rise up again into levels of light, as their souls are purged of dark sin by the grace of the Holy Spirit. All spirits in high spirit realms do know that they can reach us here in the flesh telepathically. They also are aware that they can reach down to lower levels to inspire those who they think must be less wise than themselves, in this world or in lower levels. Spirits that abound in lower levels of limbo or dark levels below that also know that through the vibration of our negative emotions that they can reach us telepathically, which they do, to fulfill their desires. All spirits in both these categories are not aware that they too are all being reached telepathically from lower levels below them, from whence their minds are broached with devious thoughts that are the inspiration for any devious expression from them to another or to us. Thus the lower link to hell is a chain that reaches telepathically from mind to mind, from the depths of the darkness, all the way up to the first and highest level of light outside heaven. Thus all are unknowingly passing on manipulative thoughts to others, and as they so do, they are by deed sowing some darkness, and thus themselves become tighter bound, and slowly and inexorably are dragged down deeper into the mire of lower levels. Lost souls in the dark may be very fearful, and reaching out to us mentally to stay in contact, seeing us as their deliverer. We must deny their mental contact. By seemingly denying a lonely lost spirit of our comfort and guidance, we are ensuring that they are not used by the serpent to mentally misguide us, that they unknowingly do at times, as they also unknowingly pass on devious thoughts. And it is at this very moment that they are themselves sowing darkness and becoming more bound, drawing in negative energy as they participate in a decision we need to make, and we heed their thoughts that spur us on to do it, something probably contrary to God's call to only love. It is by the forceful rejection of their friendship, as we reject them, that they, as we, are directed to seek the light of the star in the star prayer, and look only to God for their succour, and thus, with clearer minds, they cannot so easily sow dark thoughts into others. Thus their release from the dark levels is swifter. It is not that we seek the rejection of the person, but the negative thoughts that flow through them to us from all other levels. And so, as you can now see, in our apparent rejection of them, we are actually helping them as well as ourselves. The lost will, for a short time, feel that they are truly alone, and will feel strongly rejected. Only as they seek the love of God, via the Star of Bethlehem prayer, will they feel a glow within, as each time they say the prayer, and their minds are cleansed with light, and they will feel happier. So, we should break off all discussion or communication with any spirit. Entertain no thoughts from spirits. Tell all telepathically who can hear you. Stop linking in for any reason. I do not want any communication from spirits. I wish to only be guided by the source. And those who are linking in to me for my benefit in their minds are to please desist immediately. Those linking in because they think that they need your support are to be told to look direct to God and lean on God's star. That is a visible heavenly sign for them to see within their own minds. Say to them, I shine my light down to you, to show you my star is true, and that the power of its light is seen, even in the darkest night. I do not want your thoughts near, even though you do fear, because through your mind the underhand erupts through me onto this land. As it through you does say, we need your mind today, or we will be eternally lost down here in the land of frost. This I see is pure deceit, as the controller's thoughts do your minds greet, for it is because you control us here that enlarges your deep inner fear. And thus does the controller you more bind, as deceit flows to us via your mind. For when untruth flows through you, to your soul are you being untrue. So I say, take my hand, in the manner by God planned, and just believe and do what it is I say to you. Each time I shine my light in my star prayer to keep me right, you think of my star and say these words I give from afar. Creator of the heavens, mother of love, I see your star shining above. Please cleanse my mind with all your love, so that I may heed your call of peace from above. Or, Jesus, I see your shining star. Jesus, be with me. Jesus, please help me and save me. Thus, only thus are you true to the sweet soul deep in you. I would let you drown if I allowed your thoughts to make me frown. So your thoughts I'll not entertain, even though you say it'll help you your freedom gain. That is the greatest living lie I the Christ do espy. To your own souls be now true, and do what mother tells you. So I now cut you off, and bless you with my hat toff. As to you I do bow, saying, trust and believe somehow. Keep your thoughts your way, then I'll uplift you another day. Spirits of good counsel should respect your request, thus leaving it more open for you to receive guidance direct from the source of light. Spirits of deep wickedness will of course not heed your request, and will continue to harass your minds daily if they can. Thus the need of the star prayer, that lessens the impact of their dark thoughts into our minds. The light released and shining downwards as we do the star prayer is a reminder to others on lower levels to also do the star prayer, to thus help themselves. All spirits on every level must, as we and all, now look direct to God for counsel and succour. By all means we can lean on people on our individual levels of consciousness that we can see visually, thus having a clear separation of thoughts, for a discourse from outside the mind is different from one within. And to lovely souls up above, who would help us with guidance and love, I say, stand now aside, do not our minds astride. Just pour your love through, and mentally say, to the light be true. For if you do not yet in heaven abide, satanic thoughts flow through your inner pride, thus distorting your say, thus controlling us this way, thus delaying your rise to see God's heaven in the skies. So only angels of pure love may inspire us from above. That is my say, the God of light today. So children, seal your minds up tight. Soon the end of the final fight between thoughts in the mind, those of the devil that would us bind, and those of truth and love that would uplift us above. You decide today whether you can hear and heed my say, for heeding false spirits leads one astray, and you'll pay the price, God does say. So why take pieces of silver to deceive or destroy, knowing you'll fall into darkness, and never light or love enjoy? The light does eternally give, so others can happier live. The dark does others deny, so all do daily more cry. And each soul needs now it see and decide who and what to be, a clown for the dark, or a lover, an eternally bright spark. This is my projection to you. You do what you wish to. If you would sincerely heaven seek, heed me, the Spirit of truth meek. Seek deep.